What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have a Q&A for the future of Star Wars movies, TV shows, and like comic books and regular books, stuff like that. And recently on my YouTube community tab, I asked you guys, what did you want to see? What type of things do you want to hear me talk about? And you guys definitely delivered. We had a ton of questions, and I narrowed it down to about 10 questions, but I found an 11th one. So we have 11 questions we're going to be tackling in this video. So before we begin, if I'm talking about one topic you don't really care about, make sure to jump around in the little bar here at the bottom of the video, or actually in the description below. You can kind of choose what different topics you want to hear. So if one topic doesn't really strike your fancy, maybe the next one might. So definitely check it out. Oh, and also before we really begin, I'm going to be doing a really amazing giveaway for Star Wars fans very soon. So make sure to like and subscribe, turn notifications, because in a future video, I will be showing you exactly what I'm giving away. And let's just say, if you are a Star Wars fan, you'll be really happy. So make sure to definitely hit that subscription button and notification bell. So with that said, let's jump into our first question. All right, our first question comes from That Doesn't Compute, You're Under Arrest Droid. And he says, how do you feel about Luke Skywalker's appearance? Looks wise, I thought it looked great, but apparently others thought differently. Okay, so I don't know if you saw my review for that episode, probably not, based off this question. But if you want to see that review, I'll leave a link to that in the description below or up here at the top of the screen. So, overall, the episode was amazing. I really liked everything about the episode, except for the Luke Skywalker CGI. Like the story element for him showing up, and when he does, that was amazing. It was crazy to see that X-Wing fly in, because you already knew it was Luke, but you're also kind of like, is it really gonna be Luke? And then it is Luke, and you're like, oh yeah. So he's just going through the spaceship, he's cutting up all those bad droids. You see that green lightsaber, he's going ham, right? And then he walks in, and you're expecting Sebastian Stan, or at least, you know, an actor similar to Mark Hamill or something, and he pulls down the hood, and it's a deformed CGI face with dead eyes that Star Wars just cannot figure out how to do right. And it just, for me, pulled me right out of the episode. I loved that episode up until that point. I stopped caring about the episode. Now here's the thing about that. That's a super easy fix. All you gotta do is get Sebastian Stan to come in, re-record that scene, and then just kind of like rotoscope his head onto that other actor and get rid of the CGI face, and boom, you fixed it. Problem solved. Amazing episode. But like I said, was it cool to see Luke Skywalker? Absolutely, it was amazing. But I'm not about that dead-eyed CGI face, and for me, I had a problem with that. So that might just be me, but given all the backlash on the internet, I'm going to guess a lot of the people are probably mad about it too, and Disney will probably fix it at some point in the future. So I mean, that's the truth. We're at a point where movies, TV shows, they can be patched like a video game. You know, if a video game NPC character, you know, his hand gets glitched off or something, like his hand's like this in a background of a scene, they can just patch it and boom, his hand's back. I mean, think of Game of Thrones or the guy in the background of the one episode of The Mandalorian. They just went in there and they got rid of him. It's super easy. You can patch stuff like that now. In the past, you couldn't, but you can do that now. So problem solved, right? Next one, this one comes from Ark Nova, and he says, in your opinion, what movie was the biggest fail out of all the Star Wars movies? Okay, so this isn't really a question about the future of Star Wars, and I've done a bunch of different review type stuff about the older movies. So I'm not going to go super deep into this question, but ultimately, it's got to be something sequel trilogy based. A lot of people would blame Episode 9. I can't blame Episode 9 because Episode 9 is just a product of Episode 7 and Episode 8's creators not having the same vision. So I don't necessarily blame Episode 9 as much as I blame either Episode 7 or Episode 8. Episode 7 for being too safe, and Episode 8 for trying to break the established canon and trying to make a new Episode 7 in a way, or the new beginning to that sequel trilogy. Instead of building upon what Episode 7 did, probably Episode 8 right now. Top of my head, I'm going to say I think The Last Jedi kind of ruined what The Force Awakens was going to become, or what the original Episode 8 and Episode 9 would have became. But hey, that might just be me. And that could probably change in the future. Maybe one day we'll look back at The Last Jedi and it would be amazing. But for right now, while I do appreciate it as a film on its own, If it was a standalone Star Wars movie or, you know, its own trilogy, it'd be really good. But it's not episode 8. It's not what episode 8 should have been. And people know that. The fans have talked about it, if you haven't noticed. So there you go. All right, next question we have. It is bad at gaming, and with the Mike Wazowski face. I like that. How do you feel about the scene where Boba Fett becomes the Hutt family gang leader? See, I don't know about that scene. Was it a cool scene? Yes. But it definitely has a lot of different things that it entails. Like, think of all the people who are going to be gunning for that position. And why haven't they gunned for the position before? Were they really afraid of Bib Fortuna? No one's afraid of Bib. So it makes me wonder what else is going on. There are different people who are going to want that position, right? So I guess we'll have to wait and see. I thought it was a cool scene, but it definitely has a lot of different elements that they're going to have to tackle in the show. So it'll be pretty good. Next one we have from Diamond360 Dash, my bad. And he says, will you be doing anything related to the High Republic, and will you finish Jedi Fallen Order? Oh, that's right. You know what? I keep forgetting. When I do my streams, I do the Jedi Fallen Order campaign because I haven't finished it yet. So I have to do streams more. I'm going to definitely do more this year. So just make sure to like, subscribe, to notifications, and when I do stream, it'll pop up on your notifications. You can join in, you can watch me play, and we'll have a good time. Now, when it comes to the High Republic, yes, I will be covering as much as I can as far as the High Republic goes. Not as much lore stuff behind that. I'm gonna let the the lore channels deal with all that type of stuff. But I will be giving my opinions on things I hear, and that's what people like about me. I give straight opinions. I don't care if people don't like my opinion. I think that's why people want to hear my thoughts. You know, if someone doesn't like my opinion, if I think someone's going to hate me for my opinion, I do not care. They have every right to do that. I don't care. I think that's why people care about my opinion a lot, because I tell the truth, or at least my truth. So, yeah. Now that said, let's move on to the next one. This one is from Liam Campbell Carpenter. And he says, what do you think the rematch of the century will look like in the Kenobi series? So when I hear rematch of the century, I'm guessing Vader versus Kenobi. And I actually thought it'd be more like a flashback. I don't think they're actually going to be physically fighting each other. But if they do, I'll be excited. I'm gonna guess they're both going to survive, because duh. But maybe if it is like a forced premonition that Kenobi sees, Kenobi can see what would the outcome be if, let's say, he actually did kill Vader. Maybe that's where it comes in. It's not as much as he's actually killing the real Vader, as much as he kills Vader and then sees the outcome is not as good for the galaxy if he lives. So maybe that's when he decides he's gonna die. That sounds pretty interesting. What if Kenobi didn't plan on leaving the Death Star alive? You know, as far as the movies go, it always just kind of seemed like, Kenobi died because he was defending, he was allowing Luke and the others to escape. But what if he actually went to the Death Star with the intent of dying? Because he knew he'd be able to do more damage. Dude, that's a crazy theory right there. Man, I think I just broke the internet. Wait till that gets around. Wait till I see it on Screen Rant and they give it to someone else for the credit. But that was my theory. So that's the way it's gonna be. All right, next one we have Spectrum, and he says, in your opinion, which prequel Jedi deserves its own film and why? One character I think that'd be really interesting that I think is still technically alive in canon, or he didn't die at least. We didn't see him die. Quinlan Vos. I think he'd be a really good character to introduce into a TV show. Or, if not gonna do the show, maybe his own movie. Quinlan always had like a darkness to him, and I could see him maybe just, backing away from the Jedi and just becoming like a smuggler, and then one day gonna have to be forced out of retirement. You know what I mean? So that'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. Next one we have Gustavo Wolf, and he says, do you think we could someday get a TV show or even a movie trilogy on Revan/Darth Revan? Yes, we will 100% get a Revan TV show at some time. Will it be the Revan we know from the Old Republic, or will it be a reimagined Revan through the High Republic? That is the big question. I'm going to guess it's going to be a reimagining, but I guess wait and see. All right, next one is from Darth Prime, and he says, are you worried that Ahsoka might be overexposed and overstay her welcome, especially since Filoni couldn't seem to let her character die? I don't know. That's a good question. Will Ahsoka overstay her welcome? I don't know. In a way, you could say she already did, but I mean, I like Ahsoka, so I'm okay if she lives. Like, not every person has to just die. I mean, you know what I mean. Every character / person has to die eventually. You know, we get older, we die. But, doesn't mean we have to see Ahsoka die. I do think that if she's going to pass away, it's gotta be eventful. She's a character who has deserved an eventful death. So, not like Luke. You know what I mean? Like, Luke deserved an eventful death and didn't get one. And even Leia to a certain point. I mean, even Han Solo, man, he didn't even get like an eventful death. But I do think, like, when it comes down to it, they're not going to do that again to any other characters. Ahsoka deserves an eventful death if she does die. So, just depends on when. And I personally don't think she's going to die anytime soon. But I could be wrong. So, I don't think I am. But I could be. Okay, next one is from The123, and he says, do you think we will ever get an episode 10, 11, and 12, or a new prequel trilogy before episode 1? Thanks in advance. The High Republic is going to get its own trilogy. And it may not even be a new trilogy. They might actually hit the High Republic like they do Marvel. You know, introduce a Jedi character, and that character's going to do his own thing. Introduce a smuggler character, that character's going to do his own thing. Introduce the bounty hunter character, going to do their own thing. And then eventually, as these different movies or TV shows go out, they'll branch in, meet each other, hang out, go their separate parts. Maybe they'll battle a couple times. There's a lot of elements that are going to be changing with the High Republic, and I think it's going to be for the best. It sounds rough. It sounds like it's going to kind of ruin Star Wars, but I think they're going to be able to pull it together, or at least I hope they do. So I guess we'll see. Now, as far as episode 10, 11, and 12, we will eventually get a 10, 11, and 12. I don't know when. I actually am in the midst of writing my own episode 10, 11, and 12. That'll eventually be out soonish. So if you want to subscribe for that, definitely do that. So yeah, I don't exactly know when it's going to come up, but it will. Oh, we have a guest. Look who I have here. It's me and Isabel. Say hi. Hi. You want to help answer some questions? Okay, let's answer some questions. Okay, this one's from Nathan 3D, okay? He says, what announcement are you most excited for from the Disney Investor Day? What are you most excited for with Star Wars, huh? Star Wars. I agree. Wow, I should just let her have her own YouTube channel. She should just take over an alliance, and then that'll be that. And I can just retire and finally have peace. No, I actually have a full video on every single thing they announced on the Disney Investor Day, so definitely check that out in the description below, or I'll leave a link to that video up here on the top of your screen as well. Now, with that said, we come to our last question. This one is from Clano5s, and he says, will they bring Mandalore in season 3? Actually, they will bring, like, if you're talking about Mandalore, the planet, yes, but they're also going to bring the Mandalore. And you know who that's going to be? Mando. I theorize Bo-Katan is going to surrender her status as the leader of the current Mandalorians, right? And he's going to become the full-blown Mando leader. So there you go. But there you go, guys. That is the Q&A for today. Thank you guys so much for all the questions. I'm probably doing more Q&As, maybe like one a month. So definitely check out my channel. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. So when I do post a community tab for questions, you guys get it instantly and you're good to go. Also remember, I'm going to be doing a giveaway very soon. It's going to be amazing for Star Wars fans. So definitely check it out. And like I said, subscribe, notifications. Yeah, definitely hit those notifications. Gotta hit those. If you want my stuff, gotta hit those notifications. Subscriptions aren't good enough. But that's YouTube for you. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later. Peace. You're still chasing that kitty cat, huh?